Hello, welcome back to the equipment corner. Today we are going to build out a dedicated turkey shotgun. So this is going to be a Mossberg 500 pump, 3-inch chamber, and yeah, we're going to show you how we build it out. First off, we got our shotgun that we're painting here. We're just going to be painting the wood on it, and we're going to go try for a camo like this. So this is a Mossy Oak Bottomland. Obviously, we can't do an exact copy because that would be trademark, and plus we're just using rattle cans essentially. But we're going to go try for something like this because this is very indicative of turkey woods like trees and things like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to go and try, and I'll kind of bring you through the process. There are three things that we're going to be using. We're going to be using this Rust-Oleum camouflage, flat khaki, some Rust-Oleum camouflage, flat deep forest green, and we are going to be using some Krylon gray primer as our colors. And we're going to go through each coat, and I'm going to kind of show you what we're going to be starting with and doing. So we're going to be starting with some gray paint. We're just going to paint over the wood with gray, let it dry, both sides let it dry, and then we're going to go, and I'll show you this process too, but we're going to go put paint strips, or not paint strips, strips of blue tape across it to kind of give it that like bottomlands look. So since we've let it dry for an hour, we're going to start putting tape on it. Essentially, we're going to be using the big roll, and we're just going to tear pieces off. I got this idea from like a rubber band type paint job. I just didn't like the really straight lines. And with me, I think if it's imperfect, you don't want to get it like, oh, super straight lines. If it's close, it's good enough in my opinion. So then we're going to do the green, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. And then we are going to go do the khaki after that. So our next coat that we're going to put on is this green. Then after that, it's going to be the khaki, and it's going to be the same process. So I'm going to kind of film myself doing all of that. That you saw me kind of tape off the gun. We're going to put that coat of green onto it, and then we're going to, or no, that coat of khaki onto it, and then we're going to put on that green. All right, now we're going to tape it off, get it ready to go for the next coat. We've got this green is going to be our next coat, and I'm debating on whether or not to go brown, but we'll see after this coat how it looks, and then we'll go from there. So now that we have gotten done with the green, I've been thinking about this. I'm going to put a little bit of brown on it, just a little bit, and I'm going to make this tape very thick. We're not going to use a lot of brown in the grand scheme of things. We're going to try and keep the brown to a minimum, and then we're going to go from there. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to tape everything up, and then we're going to go from there. All right, now I'm going to put the brown on, and I'll do the reveal, taking all the tape off here after I'm done with everything. So now we have finally finished. That's one side, there's the other. We're almost done. There's this, kind of went did it all the way around, but we got one more thing to do with it, and that is to put my dots on it when I flick it. So that's the next step. I'm going to be using gray, khaki, and black for it. No more green and no more brown. Just kind of break it up just a little bit more. But I think it looks really good. I think it looks kind of similar to kind of some Blades camo that you might run into or something like that. So this is what we were shooting for. But again, it's not what I got, but I like what I did. So just tried something new. Yeah, on to the next. we finally got it all put back together. This is how she looks put together. We do have a plan for this. I'll show you when we get to this part. But we got like a gun sock essentially that's camo. I'm probably just gonna run it down the length of the barrel and put a little hole right here for so it can still seat and everything. But yeah, there you go. There it is after it's all painted up. But yeah, on our way to making a turkey gun. Next big thing I'm gonna do to it is drilled and tapped up here. I just ordered a rail for it, so we're gonna put a Picatinny rail on it, and then put a red dot on top of that, so that way, and it's got a tall red dot. It's a Vortex Crossfire, so when we get to that, we'll get to it. But Vortex Crossfire, it sits up high enough that you can look through if something happens to it, and you can look down the beads as well. So yeah, there it is, finished up. Oh yes, that's, like I said, here's the one side of the gun. Again, we're looking for mossy oak bottomland, but this is Etna Outdoorsman bottomland. Yeah, so there it is. And the reason why I go, instead of going along the length of the gun, I go across the gun, is because when you have it up, it's going to, you want to match the stuff behind you. So if it's going the length of the gun, it's going to look kind of off, but if it's going against the length of the gun, it's going to actually look like part of trees and stuff like that. But yeah, there it is. It's kind of like a tiger stripe, but like a bottomland. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So I'll see you when we put the sock on, and then I will see you when we put the red dot on, and then after we put the red dot on, we're going to sight it in, and then that'll be it. But hopefully my dad can get turkey with this year. So on to the next. Alright, so this is kind of what the final paint job looks like. It's kind of what we went for. Again, I think I've shown you this. When you zoom out quite a bit, it does kind of look like a mossy oak bottomland, so that's pretty cool. It's a little bit more green, which is fine because it's turkey gun. Getting to this, I did this kind of off camera, so this is a Vortex Crossfire that I kind of just painted up a little bit. Come on, focus. But I painted it up, just splattered it, you know, kind of break up the black of it. And we also mounted this, I think, EGW rail, specifically meant for a Mossberg 500, so we could put this mount on it, so it's clear. So now, what we're gonna do is, when we bought this gun, it only had a modified choke for it, so we gotta put a new choke. We have it right here. This is the new choke. This is a Carlson's turkey spur, so it's got a .660 spread essentially. It's ported, you know, because turkey loads are a little bit hot, so I'm going to put that in. I'm going to kind of talk you through all of it. Obviously the gun is empty, there's nothing in the chamber, see, so nothing in the chamber, action's open, so we're safe. All right, so I'll catch you when we're getting into it. And safe. So we're kind of going to get into the whole chokes part of it. So with these chokes, unlike a normal choke, it doesn't have 4. So with these Mossbergs, it only has 2 of those little slots. However, this one's only hand tight, so I'm able to get it like that. And again, we'll always want to make sure your gun's unloaded when you're sticking your fingers in the barrel and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's only got a 2-blade choke. This one's only hand tight. There you go. There's your modified choke tube out. I'm going to put this, like I said, this is Carlson's turkey spur. I'm going to leave it finger tight, hand tight, so you can still get it out if you want it. But again, this is going to be a dedicated turkey gun, so it's not like we're going to be using this for duck hunting. But yeah, so there's like kind of like the final put together of it. We've got, I said, painted the dot. You saw us painting it. painting the stock in this. Here's the, got the turkey choke in it. So this is kind of what it looks like. This is like the whole setup here. So now all we got left to do is we got to sight it in. We're going to take you through the way that we are going to do it. We've never done this before, so we're going to take you through the way that we kind of do it. I believe the plan is at this point we're going to get some 7.5, 2 3/4, 7.5 or 8 shot lead. Really cheap shells, see where it's hitting, then step it up because the shot that we use is 4-shot lead. We're going to use some 4-shot steel through it, get it dialed that way, and then shoot a couple turkey loads through it just to make sure that we're dead on for what we got to do. So yeah, that's kind of the end product of what we got. Yes, next time we see you, I'm going to be shooting it. Not me, my dad. Again, this isn't really. This is like my dad's turkey setup that I'm setting up for him, but just dedicated turkey gun for him, so that way we can maybe shoot some turkeys with it. Hopefully we can get some footage of it. But I'll catch you when we go to sight it in. So we just finished putting this piece on it, camo up the barrel a little bit more, make it camo. We got the red dots. So what's the next thing we got to do?
Shoot a turkey.
Not before that. Before shooting the turkey, yes, we
gotta sight it in.
Gotta get it sighted in. So yeah,
good job.
So that's what we'll see you next, is when we sight it in. All right, so we're out here, got the gun all finished off. There's our target out there. I don't know if you can see the little blue dot, but yeah, we're gonna be here. We're gonna shoot some just to start off. This is how we're gonna sight it in. We're at what, 25 yards, right?
Yep.
We're shooting some 12 gauge 8-shot lead, switching to, after we kind of dial it in from there, we're gonna switch to some 4-shot steel. That's about the same speed and weight as the actual turkey loads we're going to be using. And we're going to go to the turkey loads, make sure everything's the way we got it. All right, so I'll catch you when we start shooting it. Shot it. There's our point of aim. Right here's our impact, all this. So we got to shift it. We say probably what, 6 inches, 5 inches to the right?
6 inches to the left.
That's the right.
Well, yeah, we got to shift it to the left.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, we got to move it to there. All right, so we just shot. We've been trying to figure out how our dot works and read the manual on that one. So anyway, we moved it and we think we're pretty close. I think we might need to go more to the left a little bit, but we're gonna get another piece of cardboard out. We're gonna put another piece of tape on and see where we're at, and then go from there. That sounded like it hit a lot harder, didn't it?
It kicked the shit out of me.
All right, so this was after 2 shots with the 4 steel. We finally got it, we think, pretty good. Do one more group and probably switch to turkey loads. Kind of wrong, but I'm gonna take a shot with turkey loads, shells that we're actually going to be using, see where we're at from that, and then if we're on, it's probably going to be the last shot of the night. I think you were low on that.
I flinched.
Ow. That'll do it. I'd take the last shot because them turkey rounds are no joke, but yeah, I aimed a little low and we hit about where I was aiming, so I think we're good for the night. And then, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.